Charge is against defensive back Kari Crump, charged with felonious assault. Jets giving quarterback Zach Wilson a reset so he can refocus, according to Coach Robert Saleh. They are benching the former number 2 overall pick. Saleh also said the organization has every intention for Wilson to return as the starter at some point. The coach is sending the right message to the team, believes former NFL receiver Braylon Edwards.
You got to worry about that locker room. You got to have control of the locker room, and you got to have the guys in the building that are playing hard for you right now, turn that thing around to believe in you. And I think him saying this message to Zach Wilson and all young players that play for the Jets, like, look, it's about the Jets, it's about our best interest, and it's about you fully buying in, not becoming some individual space on the team.
Braylon Edwards on Barton Hahn. Mike White starts Sunday versus the Bears. Joe Flacco's the backup. Wilson will not be active. The Texans are benching quarterback Davis Mills. Kyle Allen gets the call in his place against the Dolphins Sunday.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Early happy Thanksgiving to everybody. As you probably know, we all have the day off tomorrow, but we will be back on Friday. So we've always done shows customarily on Black Friday, being that it is the day before an LSU game, or in years past, it has been game day for LSU. So we work on Black Friday, and it's actually kind of a fun day. A lot of people out and about, so we'll look forward to seeing you back here on Friday after Thanksgiving. A lot to get to. Some good news on the Saints injury front that we'll get to here in about 15 minutes. Not suggesting that all of the players who returned to practice today, among them Marshawn Lattimore, Cam Jordan, some really good news there. I'm not suggesting that they will all play this weekend, but it's very clearly progress in that direction. So if you're wondering, what can this Saints season potentially look like if healthy, what would this team look like, you'll get a much better gauge of that here down the stretch if, in fact, they are healthy, and it looks like they are getting there. So we'll get to some Saints conversation here in about 15 minutes from right now. And we will head out to the Bay Area in hour number 2 to talk to Brian Peacock, host of Locked On 49ers, to take a look at the Saints' opponent coming up this week. Big news, as by now I'm sure you have seen, the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, led by Honey Boo Boo, released their rankings last night. And your Fighting Tigers of LSU are up to 5 in the rankings. So that was really the big question, was with Tennessee's loss, would LSU move up to 5 from 6, or would Southern Cal leapfrog LSU into the 5th spot? Well, we got our answer for this week. I am not going to overreact to this, as I don't overreact or really react much to anything that the College Football Playoff Selection Committee does, because they have their own standard. They move the goalposts every single week. It really doesn't matter what happens today, and I don't know that next week will matter tremendously as well. But just like in the first week, when a lot of people were up in arms about TCU being left out, there was this whole argument about TCU being left out, and people were incensed, but we knew in that week Georgia and Tennessee were playing each other. So one of those teams was going to lose, and TCU would take their spot. And they did. Tennessee lost, and TCU got in. And they've continued to win, so they've remained in. And similarly, I would suggest here, This week, you know, Michigan and Ohio State are playing. And one of those teams is going to lose that game. And the team that loses that game next week ain't going to be in the top 4. Doesn't mean their playoff hopes are dashed entirely. There's a scenario there. But you know, if you're the committee, you know it doesn't really matter because Michigan and Ohio State are going to play. One of them's going to lose. And so the big question for LSU is next week. It's the really big question. Because I have told you for weeks, 2017 was the precedent, right? We went through this. 2017 was the precedent for a 2-loss SEC team. Auburn had 2 losses, early season loss to Clemson, close game on the road. They lost to LSU, blew the 3-score lead in Baton Rouge, and then won out after that. Won the Iron Bowl, went to the SEC Championship, and went to the SEC Championship ranked 2nd. And had Auburn beaten Georgia in the SEC Championship, Auburn would have been in the playoff as a 2-loss SEC champion because you weren't going to have an SEC team in the top 4 win the championship game and then remove them. So I'm telling you that's LSU's precedent. And I've said this for weeks. They were going to need help because if they get in the top 4 going into the SEC championship game and win it, there's no way you're viewed as a top 4 team. You get a win over the top-ranked team to win the toughest conference in America, and you drop out. So for LSU, the key really, in my opinion, is next week. Because next week, Michigan or Ohio State, one of them's going to lose. If LSU beats A&M, does LSU move to 4? Or if USC beats Notre Dame, does USC leapfrog LSU into that 4th spot? That's the question. That's the big question for me. Because if next week USC leapfrogs LSU into the top 4 and LSU stays at 5, provided they beat Texas A&M, then you know you're going to need help. You're going to need someone in that top 4 to lose in conference championship weekend in order to get in, even if you beat Georgia. That's why I've said it all along. LSU needed help. They got help last week with Tennessee's loss to South Carolina. That was a huge thing because there was a faction that was going to sit there and say, Reese Davis was the one beating this drum the loudest, that if it came down to 1-loss Tennessee, 2-loss LSU, even an SEC champion, that Tennessee, by virtue of the head-to-head and 1 fewer loss, was going to get in. How do you decipher Georgia, LSU, Tennessee if they had all beaten each other? Well, there was a strong case to be made against LSU because of the 2 losses and the head-to-head loss to Tennessee. Now you don't have to worry about Tennessee. You got help. Now you need another piece. And you're going to need Southern Cal to lose either this week to Notre Dame or in that Pac-12 championship game. But, of course, the most important thing for LSU is going to be winning against Texas A&M and then beating Georgia, because if you don't do that, it's moot. Boo Corrigan, a.k.a. Honey Boo Boo, who is the selection committee chairman, had this to say about LSU being ranked 5th, still ahead of Southern Cal.
That was a dominant conversation for the last couple of days, and it wasn't a one-time conversation. It was over and over and over again to make sure that we were looking at this the right way. There's reasons for USC to be at 5. There's reasons for LSU to be at 5. As we looked at it, the wins over Alabama, Mississippi carried the day more so than the wins over UCLA and Oregon State. As you alluded to, the good win that they had on Saturday was 48-45. I think some of the members of the committee, and as we looked at it, wanted to see a little bit more from their defense, as well as the overall strength of schedule from LSU, really drove the day.
Overall strength of schedule is something that we've discussed, mentioned it earlier this week with Sean Salisbury. Presently, LSU 15th in strength of schedule, 8th when it comes to strength of record. Southern Cal's 58th in strength of schedule. That's the big disparity. This week, though, that gap closes as USC will play Notre Dame, which is ranked 15th. Sorry, 15th. I was staring right at it. Notre Dame's 15th this week in the playoff rankings. So an opportunity for Southern Cal. We'll see how it goes. But at its most basic level, LSU, cheer against Southern Cal. Yeah. Odd as it is, Notre Dame, Brian Kelly's former school, could do LSU a huge favor this week if they go down to L.A. And take care of the Trojans. So You know what you're watching, what you're cheering for this weekend. By the way, the other thing that's really interesting, just very quickly, Penn State 11, K-State 12 are interesting for this reason. Penn State is still sort of lurking as a potential Orange Bowl participant. The way the Orange Bowl will be decided is you'll have ACC against either Big Ten, SEC, or Notre Dame. Well, Notre Dame won't be in there. And so it'll come down to either who would be higher ranked. Remember, highest ranked SEC team not in the playoff goes to the Sugar Bowl. So I guess the question is this way. If LSU loses to Georgia, how far do they drop? Do they drop below Alabama? If they do, Bama goes Sugar. And then you'd be looking at LSU and Penn State. Whoever was higher ranked would go play Clemson in the Orange Bowl. The other thing is K-State, because the SEC will match up against the Big 12 in the Sugar Bowl. So if TCU wins out and they're in the playoff, that means the next highest-ranked Big 12 team would go to the Sugar, and that would be Kansas State. So you potentially could see an LSU-Kansas State rematch from last year's Texas Bowl this year in the Sugar Bowl, should LSU lose and Kansas State win this weekend and maintain their high ranking and end up in the Sugar Bowl. All right, all things still to be determined, though. It's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, airline just north of Highland, southpointvw.com, new and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge, and online at southpointvw.com. That's southpointvw.com. Holidays are here. New year, new vehicle. How about South Point Volkswagen? Put the big bow on top of it. Have it out there for Christmas morning or even before then. Maybe you want to get that high school or college graduate in your life, that first vehicle. South Point Volkswagen has a great selection. The Jetta, the Passat are great options for the sedans that are affordable, stylish, have great performance, great gas mileage, fun to drive, lots of technology, but are also very, very safe. Remember, 9 different IIHS top safety picks among the Volkswagen line. South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, glad to have you aboard with us here. Man, we got a lot to do. A lot going on tonight as well. By the way, tip of the cap to the Otter. Otter 2-0 on his Maction picks last night. Another ding if you would. Thank you very much. Otter goes 2-0. Have we heard from Otter? Is he doing a show tonight?
I have not heard from him. I was actually going to text him here shortly.
We need to, because Otter came on the show for Otter Locks last night and said, still haven't decided if we're doing a show tomorrow, so I'll go ahead and give you the Thanksgiving picks just in case. But I still not heard from him yet, so yeah. I don't know if he's doing his show. But you better believe the Otter's going to be locked into some type of degenerate gambling tonight. So we will get picks either way from him. I'll beat him out of him if I have to. See if Colucci, maybe I'll text him, see if Colucci's got a pick today or something like that. Why not, right? Why not? A day early? Let's do it. Let's get nuts. All right, it's After Further Review. We'll knock out a break, come back, and we'll take a look at the Saints injury report. Also, some national pundits have started to make their opinion known about whether or not they believe Dennis Allen's going to be one and done in New Orleans. We'll talk about that next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, look, we got a little bit of an uptick in the temps. I mean, after being in the 30s, you look down today, and it's 77 degrees. Such is life here in Louisiana. But if it's for your home central heater, if it's for your AC, if you're having issues, River City's 1 Hour Air can help. I want to remind you, nights, holidays, weekends, doesn't matter. They'll always come out. Look, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So if you have an issue with your AC or your heater tomorrow on Thanksgiving, you can call River City's 1 Hour Air. They are always on. They are always on time, or you don't pay a dime, but they work nights, holidays, and weekends, and they never charge you extra to come out. So it's not like, man, I got to call them on Thanksgiving. They're going to charge me an arm and a leg. No, it's standard rates that apply. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. You can't miss them. They do incredible work. And remember, mention the Moscona special. They'll save you $30 off that preseason heater safety check. River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
During the season of Thanksgiving, Corvell Toyota wants to take the time to thank you for your business. We could not be in business for over 50 years without you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you from Corvell Toyota in Opelousas.
Thank you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, rolling along. Waiting on the full Saints injury report to be released. The media was allowed into practice already, and so practice is over, clearly, since you're starting to see the tweets come out. But this one from our friend Mike Triplett over NewOrleans.football. As he notes, it was a promising attendance report for the Saints on Wednesday at practice. Marshawn Lattimore and Bradley Roby both returned to practice, as did Cam Jordan and Marcus Davenport. Also, Mark Ingram participated. As Mike notes, they may not all play on Sunday, but it's definitely a sign of progress as all of these guys are back on the practice field and working out in some capacity before this game against San Francisco. Now, you can look at the schedule, and every game matters, of course, but you can also sort of place things, sort of factor together how the schedule is going to play, right? You're going to have to travel 2 time zones this week on a holiday week to play the Niners, who are playing really good right now. I mean, they just mutilated Arizona on Monday Night Football. And then you got to go to the other coast to play Tampa on Sunday Night Football next week. So maybe that's a better target for some of those guys to return if they're still on the fence. Then you get your bye, and then you play the Falcons. So even if it's not this week, perhaps the game against Tampa or coming back after the bye would be great for New Orleans to have essentially a full deck as you go down the stretch, where you're going to play a couple of division games, winnable division games at home, and a couple of really tough road games where you're going to have to play at Philly and at Cleveland against, obviously, Philly, who's best team in the NFC this year, and Cleveland, who at that point will have Deshaun Watson back. So you're going to want a full deck. And I'm not convinced, again, and I'm not just playing to the lowest common denominator or trying to just be overtly negative, but the win Sunday was nice. It was great to see, like we talked about. It was nice to see the Saints play well and get a win. But a lot of those feelings were probably the same things you thought when they played the Raiders and shut them out 24-0, and you followed it up with 2 terrible performances. That's the reality of a bad football team. Okay, that's my thesis here, right? The Saints are a bad football team, and any team can win on a given Sunday in the NFL, but good teams play consistently and string together wins. The Saints are not a good team, as they have not shown the ability to do that this year. And I don't think that's going to change. But what I think is important is having as close to a full deck as you can for this stretch run, because I think this stretch run is going to determine if Dennis Allen returns next year. It's going to determine what this organization does looking forward. And that's what's very important about the stretch run. It's not so much, I don't even think, going to be just wins and losses. It's going to be, are you seeing a team more competitive than what we've seen at times this year when they've looked very bad? And you can try to blame injuries, which I do not blame injuries. I blame poor play and poor coaching for a lot of the shortcomings the Saints have had. None of us thought this team was going to win 14 games this year. But what they are is woefully short of what they were projected to be, and you can't fault injuries, as we've talked about all year. Last year's Saints team had the most – there's no team in the history of the NFL that had more different starters over the course of a season than last year's New Orleans Saints. That is a fact. That is objective fact. That is data. No team has started more different players than last year's New Orleans Saints, and they finished 9-8 and were 1 game out of the postseason. So I don't want to hear injuries on this team. You've made poor personnel decisions, and your coaching staff has just not performed. So, or not gotten these players to perform either way. How do you do over the stretch run? That'll be very telling for the future. All right, I mentioned that there are several national pundits who are sort of weighing in on Dennis Allen's future. I'm going to get to that in just a second. Remind you about the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. Starting when we get back from Thanksgiving, going to remind you about all the great holiday specials they have, gift card matches and all that sort of stuff. But just remember, as we get closer to the new year, yeah, the holidays are here, but so often people put on weight during the holidays and they sort of let themselves go. How about get a jump start on that New Year's resolution and start looking and feeling better today? The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana can help. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. Go get that blood draw, have that consultation with Dr. Howell, and let him know. He'll let you know if you're a candidate for HRT. It can be life-changing. Look and feel like your younger self. TheAntiAgingClinics.com. That's TheAntiAgingClinics.com. All right. If you go to ESPN.com on the NFL tab, there's a piece up. It's on the homepage. It's predicting NFL Week 12 upsets plus weekly buzz and notes. This is by Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano. And they sort of lead with the hot seat chatter. Now, Jeremy Fowler mentions that a year ago there were 10 jobs that opened. And as of right now, there are 4 coaches in year 1 that have 3 wins or less. They are Josh McDaniels, Lovie Smith, Dennis Allen, and Hackett. They also note that there's some coaches that you got to keep an eye on, right? Like Bill Belichick and Pete Carroll are in their 70s. How much longer do they want to coach? We'll see in time. Brandon Staley with the Chargers, if things go badly there, could go that way. The interesting thing, though, that Jeremy Fowler said about Dennis Allen was, even though it hasn't started well for Dennis Allen, he noted that he would be surprised if Dennis Allen doesn't get another year based on the setup there. And he notes GM Mickey Loomis, who's embedded, had a heavy influence over Allen's hiring. Essentially saying, Loomis picked Allen, Loomis ain't going nowhere, so is Loomis really going to fire the guy he hired a year later? Probably not. Now, that's not great logic, because I would argue that's similar to a coaching hire. We've seen that with draft picks as well. There's times the Saints have drafted players that didn't pan out, and they've elected to keep undrafted guys over the drafted guys because they were better. And the most notable of that is, of course, Pierre Thomas over Antonio Pittman, who was a 4th-round draft pick, and they cut after year 1. So I will still maintain that even though Jeremy Fowler is saying he'd be surprised, the bigger thing is how do they finish? I'll get back to that in just a second. The other part that's pretty fascinating is they look at the candidates, and they look at who are the top candidates most likely to get interviews. And so they obviously start with Sean Payton, who is the most notable and is going to be on everybody's short list to get a head coaching job should he want it at the point. And real quickly, the note here from Fowler is that Sean Payton seems to be lurking in a big way. And speaking of worst-kept secrets, Payton circling around the Chargers is probably one. Some around the league believe he would wait that one out if the Saints would trade his draft rights, of course. The other part of this that's notable with respect to Sean Payton, and Dan Graziano points this out. Graziano points out with Sean Payton that every opening is going to want to talk to him. Said Carolina would throw a pile of money at Sean Payton. But he points out what we've all talked about, the fact that Sean Payton's going to want to go somewhere where they have a solid quarterback situation, and that's why people are connecting with the Chargers. And then he also notes that Arizona is a potential spot for Sean Payton, assuming there's an opening there, and that Payton would want to go somewhere like we've talked about, where it's a warm weather climate with a quarterback. What he points out that was really interesting, though, is Sean Payton, the Saints have Sean Payton's rights for the next 2 years. And if Sean Payton decides to wait another year to get back in, and I don't know that he will, that the Saints' leverage drops so dramatically that the draft compensation that you would get is almost negligible. So if you're the Saints, you're really looking at two things. I mean, number one, you want Sean Payton back coaching again this year. If you want to recoup some type of draft capital, you want him coaching again in 2023. You want him to get a job. And the Chargers is one we've talked about a lot, and that from a Saints perspective would be way more appealing because he would be off in the AFC and you wouldn't have to see him unless you get into a Super Bowl scenario, and that's all fine and good. Let him go coach Justin Herbert, and the Saints maybe get a first-round draft pick for it, and that would be fantastic if it played out that way. The other part of the conversation was about if Dennis Allen would be a one-and-done. And for me, this goes back to where I'll keep saying it depends how you finish. If the Saints lose out, so I understand Jeremy Fowler's point where he says, hey, look, I'd be surprised if Dennis Allen's a one and done. Mickey Loomis hired him. He's probably not going to blow him out after 1 year. Maybe, but if they lose out and end up, as a 4-win team, if they go 4-13, there is no leg to stand on. Your wins would be a season-opening win against Atlanta where you probably rallied from a big deficit late. A win over Seattle. You beat a bad Raiders team and a 3-win Rams team. Like, there's nothing there that suggests this organization is headed in the right direction. So it really depends on what you do over these final 6 games. You've got San Francisco, Tampa, your open date, the bye. You've got Atlanta, Cleveland, Philly, and Carolina. What the Saints do in that stretch matters. Because, listen, all 4-win records aren't created equal. Here's what I mean. 2019, the Cincinnati Bengals were 2-14. They got the number 1 pick in the draft. They draft Joe Burrow. They draft Burrow. They go 4-11-1. And remember, Burrow didn't even play the last month of the season because he tore his ACL. But you went from 2 wins to 4 wins, and you had a tie in that mix. So you more than doubled your win total by percentage year to year. Even though you were a 4-win team, you could see the arrow pointing up. The Saints team this year, if they crater in this final 6 weeks, you've already seen a massive regression. The question is, from here, where you were at the start of the season, the regression of this organization to where they are now at 4-7, over the final 6 weeks, can you start to see the arrow go back up? to feel optimistic about the future, to where you could say, okay, Sean Payton's coming back into the league. You're going to get a draft pick. Go make the most out of this draft. Solidify your quarterback position, the roster around him, and see if you can start to get this thing trending back in the right direction. That's what the final 6 games of this season over 7 weeks are for the New Orleans Saints right now. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Dennis Allen is absolutely back next year, because I just don't believe that. If they crater over these final 6 games, they will blow him out. We saw Mrs. Benson do that with Stan Van Gundy with the Pelicans, and I absolutely believe she'd do the same thing with Dennis Allen here if there's no sign of progress here over the final 6 weeks or final 6 games of this season. All right, it's after further review. We'll go around the SEC. Taylor Calandro's coming up after this to wrap up the hour for a little Bourbon Dictionary. Got your booze questions. Get them in. Want to remind you, normally T-Bob and I are at Oliver Twist on Wednesdays. No scone and tea tonight. We're going to take the night off for the holiday. We'll be back next week at Oliver Twist. But the drink specials that we were going to have tonight are still in play tonight, which is a lot of the really good Buffalo Trace offerings at break-even prices. Weller 12, Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Blanton's at break-even prices. So if you're looking for something to do tonight, a lot of people get out the night before Thanksgiving. Get on by and see our folks over at Oliver Twist. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break and go around the SEC and an update from Oxford on Lane Kiffin. Stay here.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. If you've been injured in a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys has been helping injured people in Louisiana for decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com. But Gordon McKernan, of course, so much more than just helping injured people in the state, which is, something he's done exceptionally well for a lot of years. But Gordon has also done a great job of giving back throughout the years. His Gordon Gives initiative, which is the charitable arm of the firm, every year around the holidays gives away 500 bicycles to children in our state. So if you want to participate in the Gordon Gives bike giveaway for 2022, go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com, getgordon.com. You'll see right there where you can enter to win and brighten up the holidays for a young person in our state for Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. GetGordon.com.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
LSU basketball tonight, 6:30 in the Cayman's Classic championship game. Tigers will take on Kansas State. 6:30 p.m. You can hear it on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Of course, that's Eagle 98.1, our radio affiliate, is the flagship for LSU. Also, I think you can see it on Flow Hoops. It's the stream where you could watch it if you're trying to find it. So radio, probably a better option for everybody at this point. I am not going to lie to you and pretend that I know anything about Kansas State basketball. I can tell you one thing. There's one thing I can tell you about Kansas State basketball, and it's Keontae Johnson. If you remember, Keontae Johnson was an all-SEC player at Florida. He was actually the preseason SEC Player of the Year several years back, and he had a scary, almost tragic moment where he collapsed on the floor during a game against Florida State. Had a heart condition and never played again at Florida. So Keontae Johnson, they never cleared him. Actually, I say that, I think that he dressed for a game and they put him in for like a minute just to get back on the floor and dress, but he didn't play, didn't run the floor or anything, and they wouldn't medically clear him ever to return. So for all intents and purposes, his basketball career was over at Florida, so he decided to transfer to a place that would allow him to play, and Kansas State would. So Keontae Johnson is playing at Kansas State. So if you're watching or listening to the game, that's one familiar name that you may see. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know anything else about Kansas State at this point. We are so just entrenched in football right now, especially with LSU going on this run and the Saints, amid a potential coaching change for the second time in as many years, that it's hard to pay any attention right now. So the little bit that we do, it's certainly not going to be a deep dive into Kansas State. I'll tell you, they're 5-0. They hadn't really played anybody. There's one common opponent, Kansas City, the Roos. Kansas State played the Roos, beat them 69-53. The Roos having a little bit of a tough go this year. They lost to a Division II squad. So anyway, Kansas State's a 1.5-point favorite over LSU in this ball game tonight. See if the Tigers can get to 6-0. A 6:30 tip-off. Here was Matt McMahon, by the way, on this Kansas State squad that LSU is going to face tonight.
K-State's 4-0. Coach Tang, who took the Kansas State job from Baylor, where he was a longtime associate head coach there. They loaded up in the portal, did a great job building the roster, play extremely hard. They really guard on the defensive end of the floor.
LSU and Kansas State, 6:30 tonight from the Cayman Islands. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us. We do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Kentucky Wildcats.
Will Levis may be getting set to play his final game as a Kentucky Wildcat. He was asked if he plans to play in the bowl game this year and says he hasn't given it much thought. He'll make that decision after the regular season finale. Levis has played through foot, finger, shoulder injuries this year. He's been sacked 34 times. He's a projected top 10 pick in the draft, so the question is, why would you play in a mid-tier bowl game? He says he's yet to make that decision. Kentucky plays Louisville at Kroger Field in Lexington Saturday at 2 o'clock Central.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Keep an eye on this one. Alabama cornerback, or Alabac, Kyrie Jackson. He's entered the NCAA transfer portal. Jackson was a highly recruited defensive back. Nick Saban said on Monday that Jackson was suspended, why he hasn't played the last 2 games. Now we know that Jackson has entered the transfer portal. The second Alabama player this week to enter the portal, running back Trey Sanders, a senior, jumped into the portal on Tuesday. Certainly more to come as the portal officially opens on the 5th.
Texas A&M!
Former Texas A&M defensive end Donnell Harris announced he's entering the transfer portal. This is an interesting story. So Donnell Harris, before the season started, announced that he was medically retiring from football due to an injury. Well, now he's been cleared by his doctors, wants to play, and so he says he'll go play somewhere else. Harris was a 4-star prospect in the 2020 class. He was the number 49 overall player in the country and the 5th best defensive end. He's healthy, ready to roll, and he'll finish his career somewhere else.
The Auburn Tigers.
Landon King appears set to remain at Auburn. So this is sort of an interesting story here. So King's a tight end turned wide receiver. He withdrew his name from the transfer portal after announcing last month his intent to transfer out of the Auburn football program. Well, a week after he made that announcement, Brian Harsin was fired, and now King, who opted to sit out this year to maintain a redshirt year so he would have his eligibility, has another year to play and was the number 29 tight end in the country when he signed with Auburn back in 2021. So maintained this year of eligibility and is actually going to return now to Auburn to play for whoever the new coach is. All right, I want to go over some of the basketball scores from around the league. We'll do this very quickly. You know, LSU beat Akron down in the Caymans, but UAB upended Georgia down in the Sunshine Slam in Daytona Beach, 87-73. Auburn, no issue with Bradley, an 85-64 winner. And a battle of top 10 teams. Creighton outlasts Arkansas 90-57. That was at the Maui Invitational. So more action tonight on the hardwood around the Southeastern Conference in a lot of these tournaments. In progress right now, Kentucky is playing North Florida, and the Cats are up big right now, 46-22 with about a minute to go in the first half. Later today, Coastal Carolina and Missouri will play in Columbia, Missouri. As we mentioned, LSU and K-State. Butler plays Tennessee in the battle for Atlantis in the Bahamas. 13th ranked Auburn will tangle with Northwestern. That is down in Cancun at the Cancun Challenge. Mississippi State and Utah will play in Fort Myers at the Fort Myers tip-off. As we mentioned, Arkansas is at the Maui Invitational. After losing yesterday, they'll take on 17th ranked San Diego State tonight at 9 o'clock Central. And a late one, Vanderbilt and St. Mary's out in Anaheim, California. A midnight Eastern tip, 11 p.m. Central Time for Vandy and St. Mary's. Actually, it's 11:59 Eastern, so it just does remain a Wednesday tip-off with Vanderbilt and St. Mary's. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy, Trey Beal, and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. It was everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoy time with your family. And, of course, if you need office equipment, Gulf Coast Office Products. They're the best. They proudly sell the Savin line. They're a national leader among Savin dealers, but they will service all different makes and models of office equipment. It's Gulf Coast Office Products. GCOPnet.com, official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers, New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, and the ULL Raging Cajuns. Okay, we'll knock out our final break of hour number one. When we come back, Taylor Calandro will jump aboard with us for a little Bourbon Dictionary. You got booze questions, especially before Thanksgiving. My goodness, you have family over at the house. Family's driving you nuts. You need to escape into a cocktail. Taylor's the guy to ask. So, Bourbon Dictionary, your questions for Taylor coming up next. You can get them in. Email us, tweet us, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, or text your question to 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Bourbon Dictionary is next.
AFR.
I know we're heading into a holiday, but it's still a good time to remind you about Insurance Network of Louisiana. I'm going to give you the number, give you the website like I do every day. But the thing I really want to stress that so many of you need to hear, this time of year gets expensive for a lot of people. The holidays are expensive. You have gifts to give, and a lot of people have travel, and a lot of things that get very expensive near the end of the year. So people either look to make more money some way with a hustle or save money. How do you tighten the belt on your budget? Well, what if you could passively save money? Insurance Network of Louisiana could help. We all have to pay insurance, and unfortunately, too many of us are overpaying and underinsured, and we don't even know it. If you're like me, you probably get a lot of those insurance notices in the mail before you even open them. You just throw them away. And they might be hitting you with rate increases, and you don't even know it. Insurance Network of Louisiana shops for free to find you better coverage for less money.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, let's get to it. Taylor Calandro from Calandro's joins us here on Thanksgiving Eve, where no doubt there will be a lot of people, many people imbibing, and rightfully so, and all that stuff. How are you, dude?
Good. I'm ready to imbibe myself, Matt.
Well, what will be your weapon tomorrow?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'll post it on social media. I haven't even had a chance to think about that, to be honest with you.
You're going to post on social media what you think, like what people think you should drink?
No, I'm going to post what I'm drinking.
Oh, got
tomorrow.
it. Okay. Got it. Do you, what do you see mostly? Like, I know during the summer when we do this segment and we ask you a lot, and you said like this year, RTDs were just a massive and become a massive category. What about Thanksgiving? What really moves, this time of year?
It's a lot of wine, brown liquor. It's a lot of wine and liquor, mostly brown. We're starting to sell a lot of brown whiskey, etc. But man, I mean, people in South Louisiana like to drink, and when the football team's winning, people are drinking, and when the holidays come around, people are drinking. So yeah, today's been a smorgasbord of alcohol being sold.
Hey, man, people are drinking during football season either way. It's either celebratory or drown your sorrows. So one way or another, people are getting in it.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be the first part of that this year, but actually, no, we're celebrating now. So.
I know. It has been incredible. And, of course, next week, Tigers will be in Atlanta for the SEC Championship game, which we're looking forward to. And coming up in a few weeks is the Calandro's Rare Whiskey Raffle. We'll tell you, give you some of those details coming up here in just a few. As always, we get to questions. Before we do that, what's new?
Nothing really new. We are going to be releasing the Bourbon County that I talked about last week. We're going to be releasing that Friday morning at 8 a.m. We got all of the variants. We got Rare, and I'm sure you have no clue what I'm talking about, but there's people that are listening that do. We got the Rare variant, and we got very little of it. So if you do want some, I suggest getting here very early on Friday.
Wait, can you go through, what is that again?
One of the variants is called Rare, and it's a barrel.
I'm sorry. It's a variant of what? I don't remember.
One of the variants of Bourbon County brand stout that we're releasing Friday.
Okay.
It's called Rare, and it was aged in Booker's barrels, Heaven Hill barrels, old barrels. A stout aged in old barrels. It's very allocated, very limited, but we ended up getting a case of it, and we will have that. Along with some other ones, too. I'll be posting those on social media.
Okay. Speaking of very old as well, you sent me a picture earlier today of something pretty stinking cool that we want to share with the audience. I'll let you go ahead and say what it is. I'm trying to pull up the picture here so we could show it to our audience who's watching. But you got a very old bottle of Weller.
Yeah, so I had a customer yesterday approach me about a bottle that they had that their father had given them, that their grandfather had given to their father, and their grandfather originally purchased it. It is it's a W.O. Weller Special Reserve bottle and bond 7-year that was distilled in 1935 and bottled in 1942. Stitzel Weller was created in 1935. So the Wellers and the Stitzel people, which the Stitzel people included the Julian Van Winkle, got together and made Stitzel Weller, which has since closed since 1992. But 1935 was the first year of them making liquid together, and that bottle is from that year.
Yeah, so for those watching real quick, I'm zooming in. I know there's a lot of people listening who aren't watching, but if you're watching on YouTube or on WBTR, I have it zoomed in so you can see it says fall of 1935. That's the stamp on there. So that's when this was bottled. So this is an unopened bottle of Weller from 1935, which is pretty incredible.
So it was bottled during World War II, and I sent that to an old Sazerac friend that I have who's a nerd, a way bigger nerd than me. That liquid was actually aged in 48-gallon barrels. They switched from 48-gallon barrels to 53-gallon barrels now, which is standard during World War II because there was a lumber shortage, and they were trying to figure out how to get more space in a barrel without modifying their rack houses. So they went from 48 to 53. They got 5 more gallons out of it.
That's pretty incredible, man.
Weird nerd facts that I learned today.
But I think it's also really cool. We're going to get to some questions. If you got them, you can fire away for Taylor. You can email us. You can tweet us. You can jump in the Bayou Forward YouTube chat or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400. I did get a question in via the text line from Erica Moscona, who said, ask Taylor.
Your wife.
Yeah, my wife. She didn't text my phone. She texted the show text line.
She's following the rules.
She is, because she knows I don't check my text during the show. She said, what are some must-see or do things in St. Helena, which is a small town near Napa? We are planning a Napa trip, which is why she's asking. So any ideas? Any thoughts?
Erica, that's a great question. I would start off by finding a winery.
Okay, I think we're probably gonna check that box. Do you know of any in that town in particular?
Man, St. Helena is like Napa. It basically is Napa. There are a gajillion wineries. We could talk about this for 3 hours on the air and still not cover all of them.
Okay.
So, Prisoners in St. Helena. Heights is in St. Helena. There's so many. Trinchero, which makes Sutter Home, would make a ton of other wine. One of the coolest wineries I've ever been to was Trinchero in St. Helena. There's tons of wineries in St. Helena, but I'll get with Erica.
I've completely blown out basically all of our time. We got a minute left, but I want to make sure that we talk about the Rare Whiskey Raffle as well. So give us the deets. I've got the graphic up here, but give us the deets.
Yeah, so Thursday, December 8th, Virtual again this year, unfortunately, but fortunate for some people that wanted it or virtually. I didn't, for the record. For everybody listening, I did not want it virtually. Hopefully next year we'll go back in person. So December 8th, Thursday, we're going to start at 6:30. We're going to start selling tickets next Friday, December 1st, at both Calandro's locations. You have to buy the tickets in person. However, you do not have to be in person to win because we're going to be virtual. You're going to have a week window to pick up those bottles after we raffle them. All the information's on our social media, Facebook, and we will be putting a list out in the next week or so of the stuff that's going to be in there, and we're probably going to add to it too.
Nicely done. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk next week.
Hey, eat some turkey, Matt.
See you, man.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Shawbill's Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. ShawbillsTire.com. If you're going to be traveling this holiday season, man, think Shawbills. If you're looking down at those tires and they look a little threadbare, man, you need some tread on those tires. You need new tires. You need Shawbills. If you have any auto issues, go to Shawbills. Remember, if you need the oil changed, if you need the tires rotated, if the check engine light is on, if the brakes are squeaking, if something's going on with your vehicle and you're just not sure what it is, doesn't sound right, bring it to Shawbills. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. Remember, nobody is going to sell you the best tires on the road for cheaper prices than Shawbills. Bridgestone, Firestone, BF Goodrich, Michelin, they'll sell you the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible. That's their guarantee, and they'll always treat you like family. That's Shawbills. Happy Thanksgiving from all our friends at Shawbills.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I'm Chris Nakamoto. Here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. The WBRZ Investigative Unit obtained records from the West Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office involving an employee accused of stealing. Sources say at least $150,000 is missing. As state police and the state legislative auditor investigate. Tonight, taxpayers are still shelling out big for her salary, while some question why she hasn't been arrested. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. 7 Michigan State football players charged with crimes stemming from the assault of 2 Michigan players in the Michigan Stadium tunnel after the team's October 29th game. The most serious charge is against defensive back Kari Crump, charged with felonious assault. A dramatic shakeup for the Jets ahead of Sunday's game versus the Bears. Quarterback Zach Wilson has been benched. Mike White will start in his place with Joe Flacco, the backup. Wilson, who has not played well 2 of the last 3 games, will not be active. Wilson's career in New York is not over, and the benching just a reset, emphasizes coach Robert Saleh.
His decision-making's been fine, his practice habits, all that stuff have been fine, but there's some basic fundamental things that have gotten really out of whack for him. And this is just an opportunity for him to sit back, focus on those things, find a way to get reconnect to all the different things that we fell in love with during the draft process. And it's something that I feel like he's going to be able to do.
Saleh also said the organization has every intention for Wilson to return as the starter at some point. Bears quarterback Justin Fields told reporters today he's dealing with a separated left shoulder. No decision yet if he plays Sunday. That decision, whether to play, is up to Fields.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We'll head out to the Bay Area in about 15 minutes. Brian Peacock covers the 49ers for Locked On 49ers, and I'll talk a little bit about the Saints Challenge this week. Team is getting healthier. If you missed it, the initial injury report looking better for the New Orleans Saints anyway, with Marshawn Lattimore, Bradley Roby, Marcus Davenport all back at practice today. As a matter of fact, we could take a quick look at the injury report. Here it is. Only players not participating, JT Gray, and then as expected, Peyton Turner and Pete Werner. Peyton Turner was carted off this past weekend, and Pete Werner we know is out. So, with that ankle surgery. So, Davenport, Hurst, Cam Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore, Andrus Peat, Ryan Ramczyk, Mark Ingram, Jarvis Landry, all participating on a limited basis, but all back participating. So getting healthier, which is a great sign for the Saints as they move here into the stretch of the season. All right, glad to have you aboard with us here. LSU getting ready to go to College Station. I think it's worth noting not a lot changes this week, which is interesting because it is a holiday week, and I think in years past, when LSU would play A&M on Thanksgiving, or when LSU was playing Arkansas on the Friday after Thanksgiving, it would sort of jumble your schedule, and a lot of times you'd end up with a short week after playing the Saturday before. So this week really doesn't change much, as Brian Kelly alluded to early in the week. The only thing different is Thursday on Thanksgiving. They'll practice in the morning and then have a Thanksgiving meal as an entire team together. Coaches' families will come into the facility and all that sort of stuff. And then you leave Friday at your normal time and go play a game on Saturday evening. So even though it's a holiday week, even though you travel, there's not a lot different for LSU this week as opposed to any other week when they would be playing a game or traveling. The interesting part, of course, is you're playing a team that is just a little bit desperate, And like B.J. Ojulari talked about it. I mean, and this is a pretty common theme from all of these players. They're expecting A&M to really take a big swing.
They're going to give us everything they got. They're still a very talented team. They have some good offensive weapons as well. And it's never easy going into College Station and getting an easy win. So they're definitely going to have a good game plan and give it their all.
So, look, here's just the big difference. And we're back here on Friday. We'll go deeper dive into the matchup itself. When you look at LSU and Texas A&M this year, the reality is A&M's just not a good football team. They have talent, like we've talked about, in some spots, but my goodness, the SEC sends us game notes for the entire league each week, and it's an email that has like 10 different attachments on it, right? It's the game capsules, it's SEC only stats, it's the statistical matchup, it's how the SEC teams rank in the national rankings and all the statistical categories. If you go to the statistical matchups and you look at the LSU Texas A&M game for this week, the fascinating thing about it is you can run down every stinking category, and it just doesn't matter because LSU is just that much better than Texas A&M in darn near every category. I mean, even ones where LSU isn't, even special teams. Hang on, I'm trying to pull it up real quick. I'm doing this a little on the fly, so I apologize for it. Even some of these matchups where, we've talked about LSU being just not good on special teams this year, and I think that's just objective. We all understand what it is, that LSU hasn't been a good special teams team this year. But, all right, here you go. Third down conversion. LSU's 12th in the country. Texas A&M's 114th. Completion percentage. LSU 7th in the country. A&M 113th. Even when you look where LSU isn't good, it's LSU is 109th in the country in fumbles lost. 109 out of 131. Very bad. A&M's 123. Even the spot, even kickoff return defense. Can we all agree LSU's been bad at covering kicks this year? We all agree on that? LSU's 117th in the country in kick return defense. Texas A&M, 131st. They're literally dead last in kickoff return defense. There's just nowhere on the field where you look and say, yep, A&M has an advantage there. Their pass defense is probably it. The passing yards allowed, A&M is second in the country in passing yards allowed. That's probably it. Now, their rush defense is 123rd. So teams have been able to run the ball, so maybe you don't throw it as much. So anyway, there's just not a spot on the field where I look and go, yeah, you got to watch out for it. When LSU was playing Arkansas, when KJ Jefferson was there, you could look and say, look, KJ's a dynamic player, man. He's a big runner. He can move the chains. He's sort of the heartbeat. When he was out, you knew it was going to limit their ability offensively. And look, what we didn't think was that Arkansas would play over their head defensively and LSU would have such a bad day, but that's how it all transpired. In any event, I just, yes, there's always upsets that happen. Always. But this one for A&M to beat LSU would have to be a game where LSU just consistently shot itself in the foot. You just consistently give them the ball. You give them the short field. You allow them the explosive play on the kickoff or whatever it may be. That's the only way. Because if you tell that Texas A&M team they got to drive the length of the field throughout the game, they're just not capable. At this point in the season, when you've played 11 games, there is a large enough sample size to know what you are and, more importantly, what you are not. And Texas A&M is not a good football team in any phase right now. All right. It's After Further Review, brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com. As we inch toward the holidays, y'all, give someone in your life or maybe give yourself the gift of sight. The Williamson Eye Center, no matter your age or your refractive issue. I talk about LASIK all the time, and yes, that's part of it. But maybe it's PRK. If you've had LASIK in the past and maybe other parts of your eye is aging and you've got different issues, PRK could be a solution. That's what Hester had about a year ago or so. My dad had a lens replacement. That's what Jimmy Ott had as well. So no matter your age or refractive issue, if you want to see 2020 without contacts or glasses, the Williamson Eye Center can make it happen. 924-2020 or williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com. All right, real quick before we get to Brian Peacock of Locked on 49ers in the next segment, I intended to do this last hour, ran out of time. Lane Kiffin met with his Ole Miss team on Tuesday night amid all the Auburn speculation. Now, Lane typically does not respond to coaching rumors, as he has said often, but according to this ESPN report, Kiffin felt it was necessary to address his team and their parents, the players' parents, considering the report that came from WCBI television in Columbus, Mississippi, that Kiffin planned to step down on Friday and take the Auburn job. This source told ESPN, quote, he told players his focus was on Mississippi State and nothing else, and that any reports out there about his accepting another offer were totally false, end quote. That does not say that Lane Kiffin is staying at Ole Miss. It doesn't say he's not going to Auburn. It doesn't say he's not interested in any other job. It's just saying he hasn't yet accepted an offer, and that his focus is on the Egg Bowl right now. So you make of it what you will, but one thing that keeps coming into my mind is my whole mantra when it comes to these coaching searches is it's never over until it's over, and it's only over when a coach is at the podium being introduced. You can have an agreement in principle, and it can fall apart. We've seen it too many times. Happened to LSU in back-to-back years, in 2015 with Jimbo and 2016 with Tom Herman. It happened in 2007 with LSU and Les Miles. Kirk Herbstreit went on College Game Day, reported Miles was going to Michigan. Les Miles was going to Michigan. He was taking that job. Herbstreit made that report the morning of the game. Les had to go address it before the SEC championship game against Tennessee. All hell breaks loose in college football. LSU ends up in the national championship game. I'm here to tell you, if LSU wasn't in the Natty that year, Les Miles goes to Michigan. So sometimes having to make a public statement because word leaks is what derails a lot of these hires. And I'm going to tell you, man, one of the most impressive things about what Woodward did a year ago was he kept the Brian Kelly thing under wraps. Nobody knew. It never leaked. While everybody was talking about everybody else and nobody was talking about Brian Kelly, Scott Woodward was getting his guy. And if John Cohen's guy is Lane Kiffin, he's screwing the pooch here, man, because that's all anybody's talking about, which leads me to believe that Lane Kiffin ain't the guy. He's the distraction, he's the smokescreen, and we'll find out who the guy is in due time. Maybe they'll land Kiffin, we'll see. But boy, if they don't, there's going to be a lot of upset people there on the plains. Okay, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break, come back, we'll talk about the 49ers, get a little thumbnail from Brian Peacock, the host of Locked On 49ers. That's next. It's AFR.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
Just a very sincere happy Thanksgiving from Darren James and all of his partners there, Darren James & Associates, powered by eXp Realty. We're heading into the Thanksgiving season, and there's just so much to be thankful for. I'll tell you, I'm thankful for Darren, who's been a great friend of mine, a great friend of our shows here for so many years, and a great friend of our community. If you're buying or selling a home, if you want to start the new year in a new home, maybe you've got your home for sale, and as the market's cooled a bit, you're having trouble moving it. Call the realtor that sells more homes than anyone. Call the realtor with a proven process, the systems in place to get your home sold faster for more money. Why would you call anyone but Darren James? 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Enter now for a chance to win a catch and cook fishing experience from the Louisiana Charter Boat Association with me, Chef Jay Ducote, winner of Beat Bobby Flay. Register now at gocatch.com. That's GEAUX catch.com.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need...
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. Who did say gonna beat them Saints? Let's head behind enemy lines to preview this week's matchup.
Drink it in. Couldn't go wrong. Either with Steve Perry, he could have gone with Otis Redding. Wonder when Brian Peacock does interviews, what are the most common songs he's bumped in with? Let's ask him. The host of Locked On 49ers, Brian Peacock, joins us now. How are you, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Can never go wrong with a little Steve Perry, little journey. Steve Perry, actually, before going to the Bay Area, he came up not far from where I grew up in Central California, too, a little smaller town action. So always appreciate that.
So whenever I do an interview anywhere, I get one of 2 songs. I get Callin' Baton Rouge or I get like Louisiana Saturday Night. What about you? Do you get Otis Redding, I would imagine, a lot?
Oh, yeah. A lot of Dock of the Bay. Yeah, definitely a lot of Journey. Don't Stop Believing is more of an in-game experience, sure. But, a little bit more of a laid-back vibe usually for the bumper music.
The Full House theme, maybe?
I don't recall ever getting that one, but that would be pretty good. Bob Saget is definitely known to wear a starter jacket.
You dropped the ball, Musa. We could have gone with it.
That would have been so good.
All right, that's maybe way more interesting than talking about this game itself. But, Brian, I'd love to start with Jimmy Garoppolo. It's such an odd relationship. Where is that relationship right now? The organization, the fan base with Jimmy G?
Oh, if there was ever a time to do a trust fall between Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo, this would be the time. Coming off of that performance, a 4-touchdown performance. It was, dare I say, it was a Bill Walshian offense that was out there on Monday Night Football with a quarterback that was facilitating efficiently all of the playmakers on offense and even making some second reaction play. And getting the ball to McCaffrey and Debo and Kittle and Brandon Ayuk. It was so reminiscent of Joe Montana getting out, making plays, making throws to Brent Jones and Jerry Rice and John Taylor and Tom Rathman and Roger Craig. I mean, maybe it's just like holiday nostalgia for me, but that was a really fun one to watch, which is why, by the way, Matt, that I'm a little bit worried now, short week, that this could potentially be a trap game against the Saints coming up after such a good field in Mexico City on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, you enjoyed that nostalgia. You just gave me a tick thinking about all this stuff. From the old NFC West, when the Saints would just get hammered by the Niners. Even when the Saints had a glimmer, like a little sliver of prosperity with Bobby Hebert and Eric Martin and Dalton Hilliard and the Dome Patrol, they could never beat the Niners, ever. So
it'd be
the
funny
Niners.
if the 49ers come out in a little split backs formation, old school,
God.
right? To start off the game against the Saints this week.
Oh, my God. Bleep the Niners. Bleep you and all the Niners people forever. Not really. I like you, Brian. You sound like a nice guy. Hey, we've gotten to see a lot of Christian McCaffrey over his career, obviously being in the NFC South there at Carolina. What has he meant to this offense?
It's really hard to pinpoint exactly what it is. And the answer is kind of everything. Like, I would say glue guy, like immediately high level character, locker room guy, just seeing the players after, no matter who scores the touchdown, so genuinely it looks like excited for each other. His ability as a running back is among the best in the league, but Elijah Mitchell has outproduced him as a running back since Elijah Mitchell came back as well. It's not like he's getting such high volume targets in the passing game that he's making a huge impact there, although he's doing a little bit of both, and he's playing well no matter what he's asked to do. I would say just filling in the gaps a little bit, taking the attention of the defense away from Debo in some ways to really make it so defenses have to play the 49ers extremely honest. That's one of the biggest things. And then I would point to third down percentage and red zone. So getting in the red zone, getting in the end zone more often when you get down there instead of kicking field goals, not some big Robbie Gold games. And then, converting those first downs when you get into the third down situations, and you do so many things with Christian McCaffrey. So it's hard to pinpoint it when looking just at statistics with Christian McCaffrey. I think it's been clearly a lot more than that. And really, anytime you spend a lot on a running back, as far as resources go, you just hope he stays healthy. And so I actually like that Elijah Mitchell's getting more carries, especially, in closeout situations, second half situations than Christian McCaffrey. He's got to keep the guy healthy.
Is there a weakness offensively?
It's funny because I would have said it's either Jimmy Garoppolo or the offensive line, and then Jimmy Garoppolo comes out and plays the best game of his 49ers career and was sacked 0 times, and the 49ers are, over 5.5 yards per carry on the ground. So even the offensive line's played at a really fantastic level. And the interior having 3 new starters this year, that's been a little bit of a surprise, and it's come together so good for the 49ers, which is what worries me because so many things are going great for the 49ers right now. And the NFL, if you think you have a feeling about what a team is and what's going on in the league, you just wait a week, and it has that ability the NFL does to make you look really silly the following week.
You mean like the Saints shutting out the Raiders 24-0 and then getting clobbered in consecutive weeks by the Ravens and the Steelers? I mean, yeah.
Yes, exactly like that. And like the Minnesota Vikings who go beat the Bills and then get beat 40-3 by the Cowboys.
What a league, which makes it so hard to predict. Brian Peacock is with us, the host of Locked On 49ers, Saints, Niners, of course, this weekend out in the Bay Area. Defensively, I mean, they look like the 49ers, man. I mean, is there any, when they've had shortcomings defensively, where have they been vulnerable?
Oh, I would say they're getting a little bit thin in the defensive secondary with some injuries. If Charvarius Ward goes down, you'd be leaning on guys like Yamador Lenore, who's played really well, and Ambry Thomas, and then some of those guys. Charvarius Ward's been really good, even better than I thought free agent signing for the 49ers. And they just have stars on every level, which makes it so difficult. I would say defending the run because of their defensive interior. Both starting defensive tackles are out. D'Amico Ryan's done such a good job of making up for that, though, and kind of mugging up the front and changing the looks. And it's just really hard to pinpoint something they've not done well. They haven't started amazing recently, but the last 3 games, the 49ers are beating teams 54-0. D'Amico Ryan's defense is blank the last 3 teams in the second half. So it's really scary, everything coming together right now the way it is for the 49ers on both sides of the ball.
Awesome. Sounds really great for the Saints heading out to the Bay. The Niners are 6-4 and tied with Seattle right now for first place in the West. Is this a team that has legitimate championship aspirations?
Yes, absolutely. And they've been so inconsistent this year that some people had wanted to throw them right in the mix as the, maybe top 4 team in the NFL. And I was hesitant to believe it because I just wanted to see it come together a little bit more. And really on Monday Night Football, we saw that. And look, the Arizona Cardinals are a disaster. That's another part of this where, things could look very different a week or 6 days removed from that. And a lot of travel. The 49ers went up to Colorado Springs to get ready for Monday Night Football down in Mexico City. So a lot of travel the last week and then playing on a short week, luckily at home for the 49ers this week against the Saints. But I would say that most NFL teams should not want to see the 49ers coming up on their schedule. That's the way I put it.
What's the key on Sunday for the Niners against the Saints?
That efficiency, keeping the efficiency going. Jimmy Garoppolo is throwing half or less as many turnover-worthy throws as he had for the 49ers this year. So that plays, he's healthy with his arm, so that's all key. But if he starts throwing the ball to the other team and you get those robber coverages jumping in front of a dig route and taking the ball the other way, I think that's where the 49ers might get into trouble. And if they're maybe not able to stop the run and they're not able to play bully ball in the second half with the lead, I think that would be the formula. Hit one over the top with Chris Olave, who I've been so impressed with as a rookie. That's probably the path to victory for the Saints.
Is last thing for you, Brian, is Jimmy Garoppolo on the 49ers roster next year?
That's so tough. I don't think so. The 49ers do, though, need a veteran quarterback to pair with just still so much unknown with Trey Lance. And I would assume next offseason it's going to be the same as it was this offseason, where they're all in on Trey Lance. Trey Lance is the guy, but you still don't know what he's going to be. And Jimmy Garoppolo, if he keeps playing like he is right now, the 49ers go potentially win a Super Bowl, it's going to be really hard to say that, yeah, okay, just go ahead and walk away. But again, they're paying $12 million to a running back now because they just traded for him, and they've got high-value players on the offensive line and at linebacker and at tight end, and some positions that traditionally you don't pay a lot of money to. So it's going to be so hard for them to pay everybody and throw a big-time quarterback contract on top of it. So at this point, I would say it's pretty slim that Jimmy Garoppolo would come back, and he should have some suitors. But I guess you can never say never because it's probably more likely he's back next year than it was this year, and we know how it went this year.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy too, man. Like it's almost like the Nick Foles situation in Philly. He wins a Super Bowl and they picked Carson Wentz.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Brian Peacock, Locked on 49, to subscribe up to the pod. We appreciate it, man. Thanks for the time.
Hey, always fun. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Be well. Full House theme. That's we're in San Francisco last year. Did a little anniversary trip out to the Bay, and what do they call those houses? Like the Painted Sisters or something like that. Are you familiar with this?
I mean, I don't know what you're saying there. I mean, I know the Full House. I know that.
So so the Full House is it's a big tourist spot in San Francisco.
Naturally.
But the crazy thing is there's nothing really. You just look at the house.
It's just a house.
You don't go in. I mean, it's not like that. It's not
like
a
museum.
Yeah,
somebody lives there.
It's not the set, right? It's just like that's what they had on the intro. This was the house. The Full House. I think they're called like the Painted Sisters, because it's a row of several painted ladies. There it is. The painted ladies.
Okay.
There it is. So it's a row of these homes. Of these houses that all look the same on the hill that are just painted differently. So I'm trying to pull up an image here. There you go. Oh, look, one of them sold. This was in 2020. One of them sold for $2.75 million.
Ooh.
Yeah, cost of living in San Francisco is a little high. So there you go. Look, you can pull that up, Paulie. There it is. Those are the painted ladies. So I guess the yellow one in the middle would be the Full House, right? But it's basically the same architectural structure up the hill, built design the same. They're painted different colors, sort of like they call them the painted ladies. And so anyway, a lot of people go and stand on this hill that they're running down the hill in the open, whatever, and they take pictures of the painted ladies and all that stuff. And we got into an Uber, and I asked the Uber driver, I was like, how many people ask you? He goes, ugh, too many. It's like this guy. He's not from America. He's from but he's been in San Francisco 20 years, whatever. I remember the story, and the guy was just so disgusted. He's like, I don't get it. It's just just a house. I mean, just houses. You just look at it. You don't do anything. You just look at the house. You take a picture, and you leave. You're there for 30 seconds. So we didn't go. We didn't go look at the painted ladies.
It's not just the house, though, man. It's the Tanner's house.
I'm with you, and I wanted to go, and Erica was like, no, I mean, we can go if you want, but it's just a house. I'm like, well, what if we just do a drive-by? Can we just drive by it? We're in this Uber, just drive by the house. I want to see it.
Say you've seen it. Exactly.
So I was literally just blocks away, and we didn't go see it.
Ah.
I know. I guess I got to go back to my city by the bay. Whoa. It's after further review. We'll do some overrated, underrated next. Stay here.
AFR.
All right, y'all. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, then Black Friday. You know where I will be Black Friday morning. Shout out. We will be the Mosconas at Clegg's Nursery on Segan. We'll wake up, have our coffee. It's our family tradition. And then we go pick out the Griswold family Christmas tree. But the Moscona family Christmas tree, we're not going to dig it up with our bare hands. We're just going to buy it at Clegg's. We're going to put it in the back of my father-in-law's truck, take it to the house. I'm going to come to work, and Erica's going to turn our home into Santa's workshop. Clegg's Nursery has everything you need. They got a great selection of Christmas trees. They've got poinsettias. They've got all of your Christmas decor, indoor and out. You'll find it at Clegg's Nursery. I want to remind you, Sunday is a poinsettia open house. It's at the Greenwell Springs Clegg's. Listen up. Over 10,000 poinsettias in the greenhouse. Tons of varieties, 35 varieties. This Sunday, 10 to 2. Kids can take pictures with Santa. Poinsettia Open House, Clegg's, Greenwell Springs, this Sunday, 10 to 2.
My dad just really enjoyed his life, and he enjoyed smoking cigars and thought he was invincible. My stepdad quit smoking, and he really felt like he was in the clear. Sorry. I wish they would have been screened annually. It's not just you affect, it's your entire family.
For more information on Ochsner's free smoking cessation program and to see if you qualify for early lung screenings, visit ochsner.org/quit.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, we're happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvette Toyota and pick out your new Toyota today. That's Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, a trivia tonight at Plucker's. You know what? It's one location only. I believe it's Bluebonnet tonight. I don't think they're doing... let me make sure. Hang on. I want to give you the bad info. Did you know, I learned this last week when we were at Oliver Twist, and Wiggins was telling us this. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving is like one of the biggest bar nights of the year.
Thanksgiving Eve, absolutely.
I don't ever remember in my, maybe because I've always worked on this day, until 6 o'clock or whatever, and I know we got family stuff, but yeah, so only Bluebonnet tonight, 7:30. By the way, I need Steve Levy, the King of the Wing, to send me the trivia questions.
Got a theme?
Huge. Well, I don't know. I'm waiting for him to send me the questions. So, but tonight's huge night, Wednesday. No scone and tea. T-Bob bailed. So I'm just going to call it. The A-Bears are decorating the tree, which, granted, go make memories with your kids. But a little notice, a little notice. Not the day of the show, but either way. So, that means also that Muso gets the night off.
I do.
Yeah?
I do.
Muse, would you mind turning up my my laptop here?
Ah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
How about it? Paulie, did you know? Did you know it's Shawty's birthday?
I did not.
Old Shawty over there.
So glad that was the edited version right there.
Oh, I made sure I searched clean.
Thank God.
I searched clean. Come on. Hey.
I
hey.
But it happens. Sometimes they label those things wrong, Matt.
You think I'm a rookie over here? So, old Shawty over here, it's his birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It is.
Last year in his 20s.
Yeah.
For old Mussolini.
Gotta get the mistakes out while I can.
When, I'm curious, do you get a discount on your birthday at the dispensary?
I wouldn't know.
You should. He's there enough.
He should know. Shouldn't he, Paulie? I mean, they should just give him gifts, actually. Like, for our best customer. You know, like when you're a great customer at a place, they'll like send you an email on your birthday or send you like a little card. You know what I mean? Like, happy birthday from all of us. Yeah, happy birthday from all of us at, like, my dentist, at Shannon Family Dentistry. You know, that sort of thing. Shout out to Dr. Shannon, my dentist. You know, shout from all of us at High Times.
High Times.
Happy birthday, Matthew Musa.
Is that a real place?
I just made it. Okay. We can ask T-Bob. He'll know.
He'll know.
He'll know.
He'll know.
He's got a prescription.
Hey, look, man.
That's I've learned.
Cataracts, man. It'll get you. Like that glaucoma. Watch out now.
So Muse gets the night off. Old Shawty. Who is Shawty, by the way? Paul, you're our resident rap expert. Who is Shawty?
This is lady.
So your Shawty is your lady?
Yeah.
So in this song, he's singing to his lady, who is his Shawty. And do you say Shawty or do you say Shorty? If I say Shorty, will I be labeled?
Probably.
Yeah? How do you say it?
Shouty.
You say Shouty?
Yeah. That was good. It rolled off the tongue.
It was so organic, wasn't it? Did you hear how good that was? He said...
I don't even know if I can do it.
I can't do it. Shouty.
Shouty.
Ah, we got
It's so good.
So good.
That might need to be Paul's new drop.
He's fluent.
Fluent.
He's fluent. I love it. All right, let's happy birthday, Shouty.
Thank you.
Can you tell him happy birthday, Shouty?
Happy birthday, Shouty.
God, he's so good. He didn't have to think about it. He's so good. We're brought to you by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. We'll do overrated, underrated. Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. Energy efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank and vinyl siding. It's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. I keep telling you, in roughly 2 weeks' time, from the moment you call, you could have a brand new look to the exterior of your home if you install vinyl siding at Relief Windows or from Relief Windows. Hardy plank or vinyl siding. Comes finished in your favorite color, whatever color you want. It won't chip or crack or peel. It's fire resistant. It'll make your home safer, more energy efficient. Telling you, go for that consultation. Go see our friends at Relief Windows at the showroom, Airline Highway in Prairieville, or log on to reliefwindows.com. Windows, door siding, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. Okay, we got to go quickly, all right, because we got to leave time for Muse to get the Tigers and the pros. Excuse me, for Shouty. No? No. Your life's all about self-awareness. Know your strengths and your weaknesses.
There you go.
That's why I asked Paul how to say Shouty. Shouty.
How does it get worse every time?
Shouty? Like shouting? Shouty.
Like shouting? Yeah.
That's why I said, could I just say shorty? And then Paul said he would judge me.
It's spelled S-H-A-W. You can't just say short.
Well, what he's trying to say is shorty. Hey, shorty.
Yeah, but...
Hi, shorty. If I go home and I see Eric and I say, hey, shorty, that's no good?
No.
I think you're wrong. I think she would love it.
You can video that if you do that.
Sure.
All right.
Whole life's an open book anyway. Okay. Okay, yeah, we'll do it. Whatever. Overrated, underrated. All right, here we go. Why not? We got like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overrated.
We'll have some leftovers.
Or underrated.
I personally think he's criminally underrated.
Matt, overrated or underrated? Black Friday.
In what respect? Shopping?
Yeah.
You talking about the shopping on Black Friday?
Yeah.
Horrendously overrated. Horrendously overrated. Anything that you would buy on Black Friday at a deep discount, you can get on the World Wide Web any time of the year if you're willing to shop coupon codes and all that stuff. But I would ask you this. Is saving the amount of money you would save really, 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 really worth the headache of the lines and all the nonsense? Just prepare in advance. Just prepare whatever hard to buy item that you're going to be in line for to get it at midnight, 4 a.m. Buy it in October.
Yeah.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Stupid. You see the fights every year?
Oh, yeah.
People breaking glass and fighting over a Tickle Me Elmo.
Running over people.
Like, God help, if I was in that line and somebody tried to fight me over a Tickle Me Elmo, like, you would call the police. Because I'm telling you, somebody is going to the hospital. Might be me, but it's me or that person is going to the hospital.
It's like the Toy Store scene from Jingle All the Way.
Didn't see it.
What?
Didn't see it.
You ever seen Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
You want me to say it again?
Never saw it.
Didn't see it.
You should watch it.
Not going to watch it. Not going to watch it.
Turbo Man.
Won't happen.
Good movie. Overrated or underrated? The Thanksgiving leftover sandwich.
Overrated. It's not that good. It's cold turkey, which probably wasn't very good turkey to begin with, because turkey's not good unless if it's fried. It's very dry, just not very good meat. Tryptophan, all that stuff. It's mean bread. Ain't that good. It's all right. Just overrated. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just overrated. Ain't that good.
Overrated or underrated?
Give me a shrimp po' boy, bro. Give me a roast beef po' boy from Rocco's.
Those are good.
Yeah. I'll take any of that over the leftover turkey sandwich. The next, whatever.
You throw some dressing on top of it and everything else.
I got it. It ain't that good. It's overrated.
Overrated or underrated? Martin Lawrence.
Properly rated. Talented comedian. One of the best of his generation. And but as we often say with actors, it's really about versatility. And Martin Lawrence is a great comedic actor. We haven't seen him really do much other than comedic acting, unless if I'm missing something. But there's nothing wrong with that. Like, Will Ferrell is a great comedic actor. We haven't seen him really do much other. Jim Carrey has tried and largely failed to do things outside of comedic acting. But, yeah, he's great. He's properly rated.
It's overrated or underrated?
This is AFR. We're brought to you by Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. And I am proud to tell you that Hudco Roofing is going to be the title sponsor of 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge's coverage of the SEC Championship broadcasts with all of our shows. That's right. If it's OTB, if it's AFR, if it's Eagle 98.1 Game Day, our coverage from Atlanta, GA is brought to you by Hudco Roofing. Do business with someone you know. If it's roof repairs, roof replacements, commercial or residential, doesn't matter. We got you. Hudco Roofing. Louisiana-based, Louisiana people, Louisiana products, shingles manufactured at the Shreveport, Louisiana, a CertainTeed plant. We are a Louisiana-based company with Louisiana people helping Louisiana families. Never fails, y'all. When it rains, phones blow up. What happened on Saturday? Y'all know. Y'all watch the LSU game in it. All that rain. Guess what happened? All this week, phones blowing up. People realize they got water in their house. Tell you all the time, there's only 2 ways to know if you got roof damage. Call us. Let us come do a free, no-obligation roof inspection, or wait for it to rain to get water in your house. One option's better than the others. Would love to help you out. 364-1007, 364-1007, or HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com.
AFR.
I'm Chris Nakamoto. Here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. The WBRZ Investigative Unit obtained records from the West Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office involving an employee accused of stealing. Sources say at least $150,000 is missing. As state police and the state legislative auditor investigate. Tonight, taxpayers are still shelling out big for her salary, while some question why she hasn't been arrested. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
When I was a boy, I spent my days climbing trees, catching fish. Barefoot in the river I walked, listening to crickets, counting stars. This was home. After my stroke, I wondered if I'd make it back to the people and places I love. But I got the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Your card matters. Your home does too.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
All right, let's say ah.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I just texted Steve Levy, the owner at Pluckers, who I affectionately call the king of the wing. I texted him, KOTW, all caps, king of the wing, KOTW. Got questions? If not, we can wing it. Get it?
I don't like that one.
Where's my rim shot?
I don't like that one.
Do you have my rim shot?
No. Even if I did, I don't think I'd give you that one.
Muse, I know it's your birthday, so I'm not gonna like go ballistic. But I want a rim shot, man.
I know. I'm gonna get it.
I mean, damn, this is becoming like Mike Triplett's intro. It took me a year and a half.
But we got it, and it's good. So I'm gonna find you the best rim shot there is. Maybe I'll get an actual drummer to just record one. Like maybe I'll call Toby Tomplay.
Not necessary.
Yeah, no. We're gonna get the best one possible.
It just needs to be a rim shot.
Gotta have the goods.
Like at this point, literally any rim shot would do. I just want a rim shot.
What if it was just me recording myself going, but I'm
fine.
Really?
You literally could have just done that, and I'd have been completely content. And you know what's going to happen because of that? Chris Terrio via the text line. Muso probably has a punch card at the dispensary.
No.
No,
that definitely wouldn't get a rim shot.
They all get a rim shot. That's the point. It's radio, Muse.
It's gotta be
radio.
a good joke.
Radio is theater of the mind. It's all about tickling people's oral senses.
You don't need theater of the mind to realize that
Do
the joke
Tigers
was
in the
bad.
pros. That's the point. The point's supposed to be a bad
Tigers
joke.
in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
bad.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Do you think I don't know what Go Shawty, It's Your Birthday means? Do you really think I don't know what Shawty is?
No, I mean, I'm sure
I know
you know.
it's not Shorty.
Thank goodness.
It's radio. It's fun. It's a bit.
I'm not feeling it. Anyway, start with some injury news in the NFL. Good news.
I knocked over the Gordon football. Hang on.
Good news out of Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, when he met with the media earlier this week, said that team expects star wide receiver Jamar Chase to be back in the lineup and play against the Tennessee Titans. Joe said they are planning to work him being Jamar Chase, back into the lineup this week.
Yeah,
Joe...
He couldn't miss the game against the Saints. Thanks a lot, jerk.
Well, that's where he got hurt. Joe was also asked a follow-up that if he has learned anything about himself as a quarterback while Jamar Chase was out. And here's what Joey B said.
No, not particularly. I am who I thought I was.
He's the coolest. Bengals went 2-1 so far without Jamar Chase.
Crown him.
Not so great news out of Kansas City. Clyde's headed to IR. Suffered the high ankle sprain against the Chargers on Sunday Night Football, and now will miss the next 4 games for Kansas City.
That's a bummer.
Ben Simmons made his return last night to Philadelphia. pretty solid night. How about a double-double? 11 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, almost a triple-double. Shot 4 of 7 from the floor, 3 of 6 from the free throw line. At one point, Ben did miss back-to-back free throws, which won everybody in the building free nuggets from a certain restaurant. So,
because he missed?
Because he missed. He missed back-to-back free throws. So shout out. Ben paid for dinner or lunch or whatnot for a bunch of 76ers fans. They say he's a bad guy, Matt.
Not a boy.
I mean, come on. And Cam Thomas played 3 minutes in the game, recorded an assist and a rebound. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. It is Christmas time. For so many, it is engagement season. Gentlemen, if you were thinking of popping the question, go where Baton Rouge has gone to get engaged for 40 years. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, the best selection, amazing prices, and always, always, always the Lee Michaels experience, no matter your budget. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, 2 locations in Baton Rouge, 9 in all, online at lmfj.com. Okay, does LSU
AFR
need help to get into the college football playoff? We'll talk about that right after SportsCenter. I'll remind you about GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans. I ran right through that heartbreak. I mean, just head down, barreled through the wall. And maybe you are head down, barreling through a wall that has been preventing you from owning your own home. That is an awful transition, but I tried. GMFS Mortgage can help. Get in touch with a local loan officer. If you're tired of renting, you want to own your home, build equity, build wealth, GMFS Mortgage, they can help. They've got the loan products to help you. Start by getting in touch with a local loan officer at GMFS Mortgage. GMFSmortgage.com since 1999. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit.
Let's go, defense!
We get it done with passion for our fans and love for our community. We are the Tigers. Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7, The Tiger.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. 7 Michigan State football players charged with crimes stemming from the assault of 2 Michigan players in the Michigan Stadium tunnel after the team's October 29th game. The most serious charge is against defensive back Kari Crump, charged with felonious assault. Jets giving quarterback Zach Wilson a reset so he can focus, according to coach Robert Saleh. They are benching him. Saleh said the organization has every intention for Wilson to return as the starter at some point. The coach is sending the right message to the team, believes former NFL receiver Braylon Edwards.
You got to worry about that locker room. You got to have control of the locker room, and you got to have the guys in the building that are playing hard for you right now, turn that thing around to believe in you. And I think him saying this message to Zach Wilson and all young players that play for the Jets, like, look, it's about the Jets, it's about our best interest, and it's about you fully buying in and not becoming some individual space on the team.
Braylon Edwards on Barton Hahn. Mike White starts Sunday versus the Bears. Joe Flacco, the backup. Wilson won't be active. He did apologize today for botching Sunday's postgame presser when he refused to take accountability for his poor performance in the loss to the Patriots.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. 1 hour to go before we head into our holiday. Couple of reminders. No scone and tea tonight, but the specials at Oliver Twist are still good for tonight. Tons of break-even pours from Buffalo Trace. It's Weller, Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Blanton. So if you're getting out tonight, get by Oliver Twist. Also, trivia tonight, Blue Bonnet only for Pluckers Trivia. No trivia at Nicholson. Blue Bonnet only, 7:30 tonight. Get out and have a great night. Russ Mitchell here in about 12 minutes from right now. We will certainly talk about the college football playoff rankings. If you missed it last night, which I am hopeful that many of you did, LSU is ranked 5th. So top 4 was unchanged. LSU moved up a spot because of Tennessee's loss, meaning USC did not leapfrog LSU as some had thought might happen. This has been a big point of contention. Heather Dinich, Paul Feinbaum earlier today on Get Up had this to say. I have it right here about LSU moving up to 5.
That if LSU runs the table and somehow beats Georgia to win the SEC, they're going to make history as the first 2-loss team in the college football playoff. Feels like going into the rankings, some people had questions. Could they really do this, a 2-loss team? Yes, absolutely. The committee chair, Boo Corrigan, spoke repeatedly last night about how they like LSU's wins, and that trumps what USC has done against Oregon State and UCLA.
Okay, so you all know me. All I root for is chaos in all of this. So let's try and figure out some means to this. Paul, let's start with that first off. As we always try and figure out teams that control their destiny, do you agree that LSU is now clearly one of those teams? Win and they are in?
Absolutely. I mean, they're sitting there at 5 with the victory over Georgia, and they'll be about a 15, 16-point underdog in Atlanta next week. They'll have a win over the number 1 team in the country. They'll also, Greeny, have a win over Alabama, which will be probably in the top 6, maybe a little bit higher, depending on the chaos. I realize that they lost the opener, but the chairman said that's not going to be held against them, a 1-point loss against FSU. The glaring problem on their resume is on October 8th when they lost at home by 27 to Tennessee. But they haven't lost since, and I think that will weigh heavily on the committee's mind.
Okay, so Heather Dinich, Paul Feinbaum, the big takeaway there is both of them agree that if LSU wins out, they are going to be in the field of 4. I'm going to tell you what I've said, which is I don't feel like LSU controlled its destiny, that it was going to need help. Maybe the help it needed, it got last week with Tennessee losing. The most commonly talked about awful scenario, and this is the one that Reese Davis was touting, was if you ended up with, obviously Michigan or Ohio State, one of them is going to lose. Let's say hypothetically TCU would have lost, and LSU beats Georgia, and you would have been deciding there among a bunch of one-loss teams, including one-loss Tennessee, who beat LSU, and a 2-loss LSU. There were some saying, well, Reese Davis was most prominent among them, that he would take Tennessee over LSU. Tennessee losing gave LSU that boost. Like, it cleared a hurdle. I am still going to say, and I hope we don't have to find this out, because if we find it out, it's bad news for LSU. I am still going to maintain that these results from last night don't matter, because we have seen, you heard Boo Corrigan say LSU's wins are more important, are more impressive than USC's wins. Okay, well, what about when SC this week plays 15th ranked Notre Dame? Well, you could look at Ole Miss, the Ole Miss win, which was undefeated at the time LSU beat them, but Ole Miss has now lost 3 of 4. Like, a Notre Dame win for SC, hypothetically, could look better than LSU's win over Ole Miss. And especially, with, both of those would be home games. So, I'm going to continue to say this, and this is 100% my stern, hard, and fast belief. The committee didn't have to put USC ahead of LSU this week. They didn't have to, because they know Michigan and Ohio State are going to play, and they're still going to have time to sort this out. I tell you all the time, they're going to find the path of least resistance. Michigan and Ohio State are going to play, so one of them is going to lose, one of them is going to be out after this week. Let's see what LSU and USC do this week. If LSU beats Texas A&M, USC beats 15th ranked Notre Dame, next week, does the committee put USC ahead of LSU? That's going to be the big question. Because Ohio State or Michigan, one of them's moving out. There's going to be a new top 4 next week. Absolutely. Because Michigan and Ohio State play. There's going to be a new top 4. And it's the same mindset from the first week when Tennessee and Georgia were both in there. And undefeated TCU was on the outside looking in. And it didn't matter because Tennessee and Georgia were playing that week. They were playing that week. And so you knew one of those teams was going to lose. And it was going to open up a spot. It did, and TCU moved into it. So one of those spots is going to open up after Michigan and Ohio State play this weekend. Who moves in? Because for LSU, if you are in the play, if you are in the top 4, and beat number 1 Georgia, there is no way they can move you out of the top 4 after a win over the number 1 team. What can happen is if Michigan and Ohio State play, the loser's out, TCU goes up to 3. So you have Georgia, let's say Ohio State, TCU. Does Southern Cal beat Notre Dame and move to 4? If they do, and then win their conference championship, and TCU wins the Big 12, and Michigan wins the Big 10, I think we all agree Georgia's in either way. What happens in the SEC championship game? Georgia's still going to be in. Could LSU leapfrog SC, who would have beaten, likely, Oregon to win the Pac-12, a one-loss team, only loss or 2-point conversion, 1-point loss on the road to Utah. That's the tricky question. So it's not these rankings that matter at all. And honestly, next week won't matter tremendously because you're going to have a whole other weekend of games. Now, LSU could lose to Georgia, and none of this conversation matters at all. I mean, that's likely what happens. Georgia wins the SEC, Ohio State wins the Big Ten, TCU wins the Big 12, USC wins the Pac-12, and there's your 4. I mean, that is most likely to happen right now. There could be upsets, of course, but from an LSU perspective, trying to draw a conclusion from these rankings is less significant than next week. Next week, if LSU's in the 4, they control their destiny. If they're outside looking in, you're going to need SC to lose. So what does the committee do next week? I got a Twitter question from, I'm sorry, this was via the text line. You can always text me in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Michael Murray said, do you think Bama passes LSU if we lose to Georgia? I don't see how you could logically make the argument for Bama. I do. There's a very logical argument to make. I'm not saying this will happen, but the argument is very logical. LSU would have 3 losses, and Bama would have 2 losses. Bama's 2 losses would be on a walk-off field goal on the road against Tennessee and a 2-point conversion in overtime against LSU. LSU's losses were a bad loss to Florida State and a blowout loss at home to Tennessee. And then a 3rd loss to Georgia. And you say, can you penalize them for playing in the SEC championship? Absolutely. Auburn got penalized in 2017. They were in, lost the SEC championship game. They were out. So, yeah, it happens. I'm not suggesting that I think it will. What I'm telling you is there's a logical argument to be made for Bama to be ranked ahead of LSU if LSU loses the SEC championship game. I don't know that it will. Be very clear. But his point is there's no logical argument to be made. Yes, there is. There's a very logical argument to be made. It's just a matter of what does the committee decide. And ultimately, if LSU does lose to Georgia, that decision, if LSU is ranked ahead of Alabama or behind them, will determine where LSU goes bowling, either the Sugar Bowl or the Orange Bowl. All right, it's after further review. Well, now I got a break. Mr. 4-8 himself, Russ Mitchell, joins us next on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org. Happy Thanksgiving from our friends over at the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. You could certainly learn about the great festive holiday lights at the Baton Rouge General. Go to the website, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. You'll see it right there on the homepage. If you're interested, we got the holiday lights at the Baton Rouge General. Tickets are available. It's pretty cool. You can walk the path through the Baton Rouge General campus, see all the holiday sightings and lights on display, the 3 dancing light mega trees. You could breeze through 24 feet of lighted tunnels, dance with the singing trees, pose with the lighted candy canes and snowmen. Very good for Instagram as well. It's all there at the Baton Rouge General Hospital Holiday Lights display. You can get on by for ticket info. You can learn more at brgeneral.org. Get to the website. It's right there on the homepage. Baton Rouge General Hospital online, brgeneral.org.
I am Juliet, daughter of Marguerite, granddaughter of Gabriel Piera. I come from a line of strong women. Women who knew struggle and success too. Still, I was scared by my breast cancer diagnosis. But I had Blue Cross coverage, which meant I got care from top doctors. I'm strong like my mother, and her mother before her. The right card, the right care.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires. Russ! Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
If they give you a nickname, you're good.
Rusty, come on up here. I'm getting tired of saying Tigers. There's too many Tigers in the league already.
I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
You know, I mean, they're going to run this kid around like a rented step-headed mule.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ.
I'm a guy who spends all day breaking down Kentucky football.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
And I'm calling you out, man. We'll cut this clip and send it out there to Spurrier and the fellas.
It's like Troy.
Take it, Russ.
All right, let's do it. Mr. 4-8 himself, Russ Mitchell, joins us now. How are you, Russ?
I thought it was A&M that I said was going to go 4-8.
No. We got the whole thing recorded. You said LSU game by game, 4-8. That's what you said there.
Didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I knew there was one team that was going to go 4-8.
How are you?
Good. Kicking the tires, lighting the fire.
There it is. Thank you, sir. What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I am heading up to Sedona to hang out with my family and look at the red rocks and relax and get ready for, the December push, which in college football has a lot of activity.
Pretty excited about it. Pretty excited about this weekend as well.
Me too.
Hey,
especially after last weekend.
Why? What specifically last weekend made you excited about this one?
Well, just because last weekend was crap.
Oh, I got you. I didn't know if you meant like the Tennessee loss to South Carolina, which certainly shook up the top of the college football playoff rankings. That was. Whew.
It's just so interesting too, because especially now with the Clemson game coming up. For South Carolina, it's like, which Spencer Rattler is going to show up?
I know.
Because if it's the cat who throws for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns with no interceptions, then, Katie bar the door.
He was really impressive the other day, man. A week after they scored 6 touchdowns, 6 points against Florida. Was stunning to see that.
Yeah, no, I mean, a really, listen, now they're playing Clemson, and the Clemson secondary it's not like it's been, spectacular, but it's been better than Tennessee's. So on the road against that secondary, with Clemson still trying to hang on to things. But again, if that Spencer Rattler shows up, then we'll have ourselves a hell of a ball game in Memorial.
Yeah. Man, that Clemson defensive line came into this year really highly touted. They have not performed well, but they are a 2-touchdown favorite in that game. It is in Clemson. Hey, what do you make? I'm really curious. What do you make of all the Lane Auburn smoke?
I don't know. I've been on the phone all week calling people I know on the planes trying to get some information. I don't think anybody really knows. I don't even think Lane knows. I think anybody who tells you they know for sure, particularly inside the Auburn family, which is about as dysfunctional as college families get, is full of it. But, Lane doesn't even get invited to parties. So, I think there are better jobs than Auburn, but, I think it's a good spot for Lane.
So I agree that there are better jobs than Auburn, but would you agree Auburn's a better job than Ole Miss?
Yes.
Right. So it's a little delicate dance, right? If Auburn does offer and he decides to stay put, he's kind of betting something better might come along down the road.
Well, here's the question you have to ask yourself.
Okay.
So if we agree Auburn is a little bit better than Ole Miss, that it's a step up to the next. I mean, is it? It also comes with significantly more expectations. At Ole Miss, could he continue to get like 9-win, 10-win seasons? Can he continue to run the program exactly the way he wants to? And will he put himself in a bet if he gets another year like he had this year and last year? If he gets 2 more years like that, then can he take a jump to a school like Alabama or, a school of LSU's caliber or USC's caliber? I think, yeah. Whereas if he goes to Auburn and it potentially goes sideways, then that pretty much sets him back to 0.
Do you think he will take that job?
No.
Yeah, me either. Who do you think they hire?
I have not heard enough out of Auburn to be able to put my finger on one specific person, so you're just guessing at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I'm guessing too. I think probably Hugh Freeze.
Hugh Freeze would be so fantastic. I mean, it would be so fantastic to get Freeze back in the SEC West, I mean, he's a great coach. He's a great college football coach. You can say, obviously, he made some mistakes on the personal front and all that, but he's a great college football coach. If you like football, as an LSU fan, if you're an LSU fan, you'd rather they pick a bad coach. But if you like college football and you want to have the best games and the most exciting football, then yeah, you'd like Hugh Freeze to take that job.
Yeah, I'm more interested in Ole Miss being terrible. I want Matt Luke Ole Miss.
When they took Harsin, right? So you probably were cheering when they took Harsin. I didn't think that was a good hire. And, I didn't think that it would implode as quickly as it did. And again, there were some off the field things happening in that circumstance as well. But, winning on the field goes a long way to clearing up those things. Mm-hmm. And, he couldn't win on the field. And I kind of had it like a lot of people did. I didn't think that was the best hire. And it's not good for the sport. It's not good for the SEC when we have, the top tier schools in the conference are not hiring the best talent.
Do the Egg Bowl, Ole Miss is a 2-point home favorite in that game. How do you think that game goes on Friday?
First of all, they should really be calling this the Keep Up Bowl, not the Egg Bowl. Because, these are two offenses that, want to score. The problem is that Mississippi State hasn't been able to do it. They have not been able to have that passing offense that you expect, right? And their rushing offense is like what? It's like the worst or the second to worst. State's rushing offense, it's not very good. If they can rush the ball, the Bulldogs are undefeated. If they can I think it's like 4 yards a carry, just 4 yards a carry. State is undefeated. They're like 4-0 or 5-0 this year.
Oh, when they run the ball I got it.
If they can get just 4 yards of carry, they're undefeated. The problem is they can't. They don't do it often enough, right? So, I mean, they've only done 4 times all season, and we're at the end of the year. I just don't. The question you ask yourself is, are they going to be able to keep up? Can State's offense keep up with Ole Miss offense this year? And I don't think they will. I think it'll be a lot like the Egg Bowl we had last year. I think Ole Miss's offense will convert on third downs, and that'll be the difference.
Do you think the Iron Bowl gets interesting? I mean, it always kind of
no.
It is one of those throw out the record games, man. Like last year shouldn't have been competitive, and Auburn should have won the game if Tank Bigsby stays in bounds on that run instead of going out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean it's like Florida State, but this is an Auburn team this is not a usual year, right? You have an interim coach coaching. That's a distraction. So, even if it was just a normal year, like last year, where the one team wasn't playing as well, but they still had their head coach on the sideline, and, there wasn't as much distraction and disruption as you're having this year for Auburn, then maybe. But no, not, there's the talent divide right now, the experience. The only question you're asking yourself is this Alabama team going to be focused to play this game when, by their standards, the season is over? And yeah, it's the Iron Bowl. I think they'll be focused.
And last year was overtime. I mean, 2020 was a blowout. It's 42-13, but Auburn won in 2019, 48-45. I mean, you've seen.
Yeah.
It's just one of them games, man.
This is why we say throw the record book out, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you've got rivalries like this at any level, right? High school, college, pros, anytime you've got this kind of arch rival, maybe not so much the pros, but certainly at high school and college. But, what's the spread on this game? I'd have to think it's at least 16, 15.
Yeah, I think it's around that. Let me see. It's it's 22.
Yeah, I mean, I know the spread was against LSU. What was the spread, 13?
The Bayou spread, yeah, it was 13, yeah.
Yeah, this is 22, and I think I'd probably, you know what I say, never wager on children because they'll rip your heart out of your chest.
Yes.
But, I'd probably give 22 and take Bama.
Unless you're me against LSU the Ole Miss week when I told you point blank LSU was winning that game going away. Take it to the bank. Pay for your kid's college sort of game. Oh, what do you think about the Tigers and the Aggies on Saturday?
What's the spread in this game? 11? No, 7?
It's hilarious that you don't pay attention to the spreads, and you always ask me on the air. It's varied. It's around 10. I've seen it 9, 9.5, 10. It's moved a little bit.
That's where
it is presently at 10.
That's where I would put it. We talk about football's all about matchups. This is a A&M. I mean, they're 4-8.
I know.
They're 4-8. They're 1-6 in conference, man. They're about to go 1-7. But I'm still going to pick Texas A&M. They're about to go 1. They're about to go 1-7. They're dead last in the conference so matchups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dead last in the conference in scoring offense. Second to last in the conference in total offense.
Yeah, they stink.
LSU, fourth best in scoring defense. By the way, LSU in November is the second best scoring defense in the SEC. So in the hardest stretch of LSU's schedule, the defense is standing on its head, which, isn't just Perkins, who's obviously having a spectacular November, but the whole defense is doing well. And, top 5 in total defense. So, this is for the season. So this is a bad matchup for A&M all around, and you can pretty much pick just about any stat you want. Points per game allowed, points per game, yards, total yards, passing yards, total yards allowed. Basically any stat you want. LSU has had a better season than A&M.
Yeah, A&M stinks.
So it would be very disappointing if the Tigers didn't win this game.
I know.
I'm picking A&M. Just to keep it going, just to keep it going.
I respect it.
Just to keep it going.
And you will have the opportunity to do that in person in Atlanta.
I know.
A week from tomorrow.
We'll get to do a live show next week. By the way, can I just real quickly say something?
Of course.
For those who've been listening for the last decade, they know that there was a period of my life, about a year, where food was scarce. That's something that you remember. Doesn't matter how old you get, doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank, you remember that. And this is Thanksgiving. I know I'm not giving up, despite the fact that everybody else in America seems to think that Christmas starts on October the 1st. This is Thanksgiving, and this is the holiday of giving. So, if you go to the supermarket this weekend or today, if you're making a last-digit run to the supermarket to get some groceries, if you can fill up the package and leave it at the supermarket for your food bank, you got lots of hungry neighbors who, we take care of our own, and, there's lots of hungry neighbors that would love it if you'd help them out. So that's all I'm saying.
I was hoping you were going to say it. You always make a point to say that every year, and I was hoping you would get to it, and I'm glad that you did. It's a great reminder. So I'm thankful for you and your 4-8 prediction, because it's given us a lot. It's given us a lot of content, but mostly for your time every year and for your friendship. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.
All right, brother.
All right.
Y'all take care. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving. That's Russ Mitchell, College Football News, and Russ will be in Atlanta next week. So he arrives on Friday. I think it's going to be cutting it close for AFR, but hopefully we're going to get him on set for some portion of Friday's AFR from Atlanta. So our by the way, I mentioned earlier, our coverage from Atlanta, all of our coverage from Atlanta is presented by Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. So we're thrilled to do that. Okay. Pluckers trivia. We'll get to that. Now, Russ said it's Thanksgiving, but I actually disagree. It's actually Christmas Day. We'll celebrate Christmas here in a moment. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Okay, y'all. It's not too late. I've been telling you for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks that Rouse's can take care of your entire Thanksgiving meal. And it's not too late. You can still call Rouse's. You can still go to the website at rouses.com, and you can leave all the holiday fuss to them. They can prepare your entire Thanksgiving meal, and Rouse's is open on Thanksgiving until 2 p.m. So go to the website. Maybe you've had a change of plans. Maybe what you thought you were going to cook, you can't, you won't. Maybe you have more guests than you thought, whatever the case may be. Or maybe you just weren't going to do a big meal, and now you're thinking it might be nice. Rouse's can help you out. They can plan, and they can prepare your entire Thanksgiving meal to where everything is just heat and eat. Turkey, ham, all the sides, they got you at Rouse's. So go to rouses.com to learn more. Rouses.com. Official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's. This feels like home.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jdacody.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs
Our ongoing joke here has been we don't talk Pelicans until Christmas. The NBA shouldn't start until Christmas Day, and the Pelicans have warranted conversation this year. So we are talking about it, and every time we do, Christmas Day for the Pels. Pels tonight, we've got a couple of basketball games tonight. So you get the Pels at the Spurs at 7. LSU basketball is down in the Caymans in the championship game of the Cayman Classic tonight against Kansas State. That game's starting in about 50 minutes from right now, so 6:30 Central Time. LSU and Kansas State. All right, Otter Locks is coming up in the next segment, but let's do this, Muse, if we could. Hit me with my little game show music. It is the day before Thanksgiving. As we learned earlier, one of the biggest bar nights of the year. Makes sense. People are off of work. Tomorrow's a holiday. Thanksgiving Eve. A lot of family in town. Whatever. Yeah. People go out. They go to bars. So you're looking for something to do? Get by Pluckers tonight. Trivia, Bluebonnet, 7:30. So you're less than 2 hours away. Live action trivia. Get your team together. Test your knowledge. Win Pluckers gift cards. Every team gets to spin the prize wheel. So even if you don't win a round, you're going to win something from Pluckers. Food, gift cards from great businesses all over town. All right. Here we go.
We have a theme?
Looks like these are Thanksgiving.
Okay. All right.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
I like it.
All right. Hey, Muse.
Yo.
Rather than turkey, the first Thanksgiving meal featured what mammal as the main course?
Huh. So no turkey. So we were all just fed lies. Mammal. I don't know, Matt. Yeah. How about a dog or a chicken? I have no idea. The Pilgrims. I don't know. I mean, what?
I just see Paul's face.
You like that, Paulie?
Did you say a dog?
I'm just thinking, man.
You are definitely high right now.
And then
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that.
And then you said chicken.
I mean, look.
A mammal, Moose.
I wasn't there.
Mammal. A chicken is
I wasn't
not
there.
a mammal.
No, it's not. It's a bird, though. It's avian. Of the avian variety.
Oh my
What was
God. What in the world? Are you kidding me?
Right.
It was, by the way, the answer was deer or venison.
Oh man, that was probably really good. I love me some deer.
I thought maybe you would have said, okay, I'm thinking pilgrims. Maybe they killed a buffalo or something like that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, maybe dog wasn't the right. Maybe wolf would have been made a better.
Dog.
Hey, look, man.
A dog.
I wasn't there.
Okay. Oh, God, I wish that was actually on Wheel of Fortune. Steve Harvey would have made you go.
This is Family Feud. Why would that be on Wheel of Fortune? They don't ask questions on that.
I'm thinking Family Feud. Steve Harvey would have made you go viral.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, I'm making this go viral. I'm clipping that, and we are making that go viral. Woo! Radio guy likes to eat dog.
No, I didn't say that. Now, I said they might have.
Oh my God! All right. What do you think was a Cocker Spaniel, Muse?
No, like
what do
more
you
like
think they were eating?
No, like more like a wolf, more like a wolf or something like that. Yeah, that no, they valued that too much. More like a wolf. Wolf would have been the better word. Wolf would have been the better word.
Oh my God.
But yeah, deer, man, that's fantastic.
Ooh, okay, hey Muse.
Yeah.
What's the name of the chemical in turkey that allegedly makes you tired?
Oh, is that what happens?
You know this. You know.
I don't. Oh well.
You don't know this?
Not the name of
Paulie,
it.
do you know it?
I don't know.
Oh man.
No. I'm gonna go with MSG, Matt.
You should have said TCH.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about that, so I wouldn't.
It's tryptophan.
No.
You never heard the word tryptophan? Really?
No,
yeah, tryptophan's a chemical in
so
turkey.
that's why I'm tired.
Yeah,
after.
that's
okay.
Tryptophan's
not
in
just
turkey.
because I ate my weight in food.
No, it's that there's tryptophan in turkey, and tryptophan makes you tired.
Okay.
The first TV dinners were made by what company needing a way to sell all of their leftover frozen Thanksgiving turkeys?
Let's go with Betty Crocker. No. Sarah Lee.
No. You can give yourself another buzz.
Who else makes TV?
It would start with an S, though.
Sister Schubert? Oh, bro, those rolls are so good.
Slimmy Swenson.
So, Samsonite. I was way off. To quote Adam Sandler and Billy Madison, just give me the answer.
Swanson. Oh my God! I've been giving you the answer. You said Samsonite.
I was way off.
That's a briefcase.
That's what exactly.
I know that's the line, but it was Swanson. He actually says her name. Mary Swanson. Wow. Muse, not great at trivia. Don't let him be on your team. But humor him today because it is his birthday. All right, we're brought to you by. We're not tough at all. We're brought to you by Mold Zero USA. Mold-0USA.com. Mold-ZEROUSA.com. Little to no demolition required. This is what's so important. You're not cutting sheetrock. You're not evacuating your home. All you have to do, home office, whatever, they'll come in. They'll spray this patented non-toxic dry fog. As soon as the fog dissipates, boom, you're free to go back in your home office. Completely safe, clean-smelling, mold-free. It's Mold Zero. For a free estimate, log on to mold-0USA.com, mold-0USA.com, or call their office in the Baton Rouge or New Orleans areas. Mold Zero USA. Okay, how about we are late. Otter. So, I mean, I got so derailed at the fact that Muse likes to eat dog that it really got us off time here.
That is not true.
Muse likes to eat dog.
That's not true.
Otter was 2-0 last night in his Maction Action picks. We'll get his Otter locks next. AFR.
AFR.
Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. 28 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings. Of course, we just went through Pluckers trivia, and tonight you can get by the Bluebonnet location, 7:30 for Pluckers trivia. 5 rounds of live-action trivia. Test your knowledge, win Pluckers gift cards, eat wings, drink beer. Every team gets to spin the prize wheel, so no matter if you win or lose at all, you don't even have to win a round. You're going to win something. You'll have a great time out at Pluckers. Always got great food and drink specials every night of the week. Hey, remember, closed on Thursday, reopen on Friday. Great spot to watch all your college football all day Friday. Remember, Friday, Black Friday, has become a huge Thanksgiving or Black Friday football day. So if the wife, the family's going to go to the mall, great. Hand them the credit card. You go hang out at Pluckers, eat wings, drink beer, watch sports on TV. That's at Pluckers. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Remember, at Pluckers. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% with 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal. supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. No show tomorrow. We will be working, though, on Black Friday, so we'll look for you then. Right now, one thing left to do. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable, the of an incomprehensible, the Yacht Father himself, Jimmy Yacht. Otter, how are you?
Oh, just giving thanks to the action and things like that, you know. We give thanks.
Ohio minus 5.5.
How about that? Walk in the park. Huh?
Under 44.5 in the Ball State Miami of Ohio game. That is a 2-0 night for the Yacht Father himself, Jimmy Ott. What we got tonight, Otter?
I give thanks for Musso and his little ding dings. Better than that shotgun. Remember that shotgun sound effect he had? Boom!
No, we had a shotgun sound effect?
It was a gunshot. Remember, everybody said it sounded like a gunshot.
I thought you meant for Otter Locks. Yes. Whenever the transition was a shotgun. Yes.
Yes. Come on, Musso. Come on, baby.
All right, what are we betting on tonight, Otter? What we got?
Well, it's slim pickings tonight, so
Okay.
I had to reach out to my contacts, and my NBA guy has 3 plays.
All right, I love it. Let's go.
Charlotte plus 4.5. 76ers played last night at home. A little home to road back to back. Give this to Bobcat.
I'm looking at Charlotte laying 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
4.5. Even better.
Okay.
Yep. -4.
All right.
That's the 76ers. And then we got 2 totals in the NBA. Under Cavs Blazers 214.
All right, Cleveland and Portland under. Okay.
And then Mavs Boston over 221.
Dallas and Boston
Oh,
over.
look at this. 1 possession game with the ball. Blue Jays, Creighton, that little Jesuit school in Omaha, Nebraska, got a shot to tie it up.
Who you got? Who you got in that one?
I didn't play it last night. I took Creighton last night, and then I did San Diego State in the late one. But, man, you talk about some fun basketball in Maui. So, I mean, it was – Creighton is loaded this year. They're really, really good, and Arizona is even better. Really good stuff. Actually, the third-place game is going to be played right after
1 minute remaining.
State in Arkansas. Creighton barely beat Arkansas last night. They shot 62% from the field. Well, I can't kill my Hogs for losing to that.
Yeah.
So give a little must-bust +2 against the Aztecs tonight. Arkansas
Okay.
+2 in the third place Maui Invitational Championship.
All right, so you're giving that out as well? You're giving out Arkansas tonight?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Pig Suey.
What time is that game?
Do you have ham on your Thanksgiving table?
I mean, they got it. I don't eat it. I eat the fried turkey, dog.
Yeah, turkey.
Come on.
Rotisserie turkey, fried turkey, oyster dressing, gumbo.
Hell yeah, bro. You keep all that cranberry and stuffing and all that nonsense.
My dad goes crazy if I don't have the cranberry sauce. I'm like, here's your can of cranberry sauce. It drives me crazy with that. It's disgusting, man.
See you later.
AFR.
All right. Remember, you can place those bets at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the promo code Baton Rouge. New customers, look, NFL holiday is here, man. You want to bet on this Thanksgiving? You want to bet this weekend ahead as we get close to Christmas? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. New customers bet just $5 on an NFL game. If you hit, they'll give you $150 in free bets only at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Stepped up same-game parlays. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. It's at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. You got to use the promo code Baton Rouge. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Get in on the action with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app today. Be sure to use the promo code Baton Rouge. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus issued as free bets. One boost per eligible game. Opt-in required. Parlay and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms. Licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem. Call 1-877-770-STOP.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Enter now for a chance to win a catch and cook fishing experience from the Louisiana Charter Boat Association with me, Chef Jay Ducote, winner of Beat Bobby Flay. Register now at gocatch.com. That's